Hey guys, it's the AchieverDad, and I am excited not to review, but to rank Subnautica from F to S based on what it's like for a completionist to beat the game. Frankly, I thought I was going to be incredibly annoyed by the air mechanic. The thought of having to swim down and then swim back up to get oxygen and swim back down and do this over and over and over again, I just thought it was going to be so laborious and boring and annoying. But boy, was I surprised. The first antagonist you experience is not some villain, it's the setting. The setting is the primary antagonist in Subnautica, and that is just amazing storytelling, particularly for video games. And the way that Subnautica just slowly uses breadcrumbs to show you more and more and more was truly unbelievable. I think that's one of the things that Subnautica truly does best, is their progression. And their progression is not based on a skill tree. You don't get this crafting skill tree that you open up and you're unlocking further and further. And you can look down and you say, oh, that's where my oxygen tank is. It's down here. I just have to craft this and this and this and this. No, the way Subnautica does it is it presents you with a problem or a challenge, AKA, man, I could only stay under the water here for like 30 seconds. And then you need to solve that problem. But the way you solve that problem is by exploring. You start to explore. You start to push a little bit further out from your safe pod. You start to discover a little bit more. The way Subnautica slowly expands your ability to fight the setting is one of the most unbelievable things I've ever experienced inside of a video game. It is this push and pull constantly of figuring out how far you can get. I remember when I first found the trench, below the grassy plateau, that's kind of like right where I built I was like, I'm never gonna get down there. Like, how is that even possible? So I'm like thinking through, oh, I need to build a pipe up from the surface and go down until eventually later on, it's like, it doesn't even matter. It's like going down to the trench is like not even scary. It's just a trench. One of the surprises I had early on was just how much I was gonna fall in love with the fauna. I loved the fishes. I loved the creatures. They were so imaginative. Some of the names are just unbelievably hilarious. When I first found Reginald, I died laughing. I thought it was so funny. He's so cute. One of my complaints early on was not having a map. Like not having a map, it was really hard to get my bearings in the ocean of Subnautica, and that never actually really went away until the very end of the game, where you start to view, you start to see in 3D. You start to see the code. And I think the lack of map actually really helps. It forces you to become familiar with the ocean like an old friend. And by the end, I felt like I was finally there. I felt like I could just go where I wanted to go. I felt like I knew which direction, not perfectly by any stretch of the imagination, but I felt pretty good, and that was unique. One of the things that was surprising when I first started Subnautica is all of the achievements are mystery. They're all hidden achievements, and you have to discover them on your own. And I'm happy to say that every single achievement in Subnautica can be finished and done, sans one, which we'll get to, can be done by just exploring the game. Just explore thoroughly, and by the end of the game, you will have 100% completion in Subnautica, and I love that design. Some highlight ones are I think it's called the Degassi. You have to find 3 habitats in 3 different biomes and find their data pads, which is super cool. One of them is in the trench, where I find the first one, which is like the first big base that you find down in the trench when you first explore it. The second one is on the floating island, which you see all the structures and you want to explore them anyway, so you find the data pads in there, plus a lot of unlockables. And then the third one is in the Grand Trench, which it's pretty hard to miss as well. The achievements felt exactly like the blueprints. They reward your exploration. Instead of forcing you to explore the map, they reward you for exploring the map. And I love that. The one I will say is a caveat is there's one where you have to find a cuttlefish egg, which I did find from just naturally exploring, and I have to look that up. But what you don't realize is you have to pick up the cuttlefish into your inventory and then you have to release it into the wild. I probably would have missed that one without some help. If I could change anything, I would add 2 achievements. Scan every creature and scan every piece of flora. So both fauna and flora fully scanned. I think that would be a great achievement because it just pushes you a little bit farther. It's like if I had to scan a fully grown ghost leviathan, like that would just be fun trying to figure out. It would just push me a little bit further throughout the game, and also it would give me something to do before I left on the rocket. And it would force me to explore the game a little bit more, and like my chat was telling me, once you release the Empress's leviathans, like they spread out to biomes and you can run into them and they're large, but I'm like, I have no reason to explore anymore. So I think that would have pushed my desire after I cured myself and after I beat the game to explore it a little bit more. There's 2 distinct moments that stand out to me in Subnautica. The first one was when I first found alien technology. That moment was unbelievable because I just wasn't expecting it. I was expecting like to see my remnants of like crashed ships and stuff like that, but I was not expecting to find the alien doorway underneath the mushroom forest. That was a moment for me. I knew it was going to let me onto dry land, exploring the cavern, and then eventually finding, I was like, this is a portal. There is going to be a portal network. It instantly unlocked, like, wow. Okay, Subnautica is a lot more, there's a lot more to this ocean than I originally thought, which was exciting. The second most incredible moment is when I got the message from the Sunbeam that it was going to be landing to pick me up to rescue me. A 30-minute timer starts and I start heading the direction towards where the Sunbeam is going to land. And what do I discover? I discover an alien tower. And I start exploring the alien tower, and it was incredible. It was such a cool moment. I love that moment. Then I get to the end and I get stabbed by that little stabby thing, and it says, planet is under quarantine. And I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Planet is under quarantine. Like, okay, maybe because I've been scanning myself and it's slowly been telling me like, hey, you've got something inside of you that's like not normal, like you're getting sick. I'm literally running out of the tower with a minute left on the clock to meet the Sunbeam. I get out of the ocean, I get up onto the beach, I look, I turn, and I see the tower start to shift and change.
There's quarantine on this planet.
No turning back now. Positions, everyone. Touching down in 10, 9, 8. It's coming from the building? Change course. Set thrusters to full.
So what would I rank this based from F to S on completionist and for achievement hunters? This is the easiest rank in my life. I am giving Subnautica an S. There is no doubt the way that Subnautica builds its world, builds mystery, tells its story, the way you do unlocks, how good all of the achievements are, how achievable they are. And I would highly recommend anyone who has never played Subnautica, even if you're not an achievement hunter, anyone who's never played a Subnautica, get this game and play it tomorrow. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I am on the quest for 1,000 subscribers, so please give me a subscribe. And I'm AchieverDad on all platforms: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Kick, Twitch. That's me everywhere. So I would love for you guys to join me on these journeys. It's been super fun growing. It's been super fun doing this YouTube journey, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll catch you next time.